He was unbeatable in the ring, feared by all, defeated by none. But one brutal fight changes everything when he accidentally kills his opponent. Haunted by guilt and driven by a need for redemption, this warrior now faces his greatest battle yet, not for glory, but for forgiveness. Let's recap the 2016 film Boyka, Undisputed. We begin in the gritty underground fight scene of Kiev, Ukraine. Yuri Boyka, a renowned and feared fighter, starts his ritual with a solemn prayer. He's relentless. Every punch, every kick, calculated and fierce. It's clear, he's here to win, and win he does, drawing a roar of approval from the crowd. Meanwhile, deep inside Kornia Cholmy, a maximum security prison, another fight is underway. Koshmar, Russia's brutal beast of a man, takes the stage. His opponent puts up a brave fight, but it's like hitting a wall. Koshmar smashes him with terrifying force, and when the poor man is down, Koshmar goes berserk, pummeling him without mercy. The result? A fatality. Just another night in this savage world. A few days later, Boyka pays a visit to a local church to donate books. The priest is grateful for his generosity, but he doesn't hold back. He reminds Boyka that if he truly seeks salvation, violence won't lead him there. Boyka defends himself, saying that his fighting ability is a gift from God. It would be wrong to waste it. Still, the priest's words linger. Soon after, Boyka's manager Kirill arrives with exciting news. A legitimate fighting opportunity awaits, a chance to compete in the European Championship in Budapest. All Boyka has to do is win one more fight. His opponent, Victor. With the scouts watching, the stakes are higher than ever. That night, Boyka prays once more, steps into the ring, and faces Victor. The match is intense. Boyka quickly takes the upper hand, knocking Victor down. But Victor refuses to stay down. He's desperate for this win. As the fight rages on, Boyka finally gains the upper hand and delivers the decisive blow. Rendering Victor unconscious. The victory is Boyka's, and the scouts are impressed. He's in. On his way home, Boyka sees Victor being rushed to the hospital. The nurse's words cut deep. Victor's condition is critical. The next day, Kirill gives Boyka the devastating news. Victor didn't make it. Although it was an accident, the guilt consumes Boyka. The priest's words echo in his mind. He asks Kirill to let him see Victor's belongings and finds a photo of Victor with his wife and a heartfelt letter. Overcome with emotion, Boyka decides he must make things right. He tells Kirill he's going to Russia to find Victor's widow and ask for her forgiveness, even if it means risking his own freedom. Despite Kirill's protests, Boyka is a wanted man in Russia. He secures a fake passport and sets off. In Russia, Boyka arrives at Victor's funeral. There, he witnesses Alma, Victor's wife, being approached by Zaurop, a sinister gangster. Zaurop reminds her of Victor's debt and makes a disgusting proposition: marry him and the debt disappears. Alma refuses, but agrees to work at his club to pay it off. Boyka, now in Russia, finds a room to rent and carefully hangs a crucifix on the wall. He follows the return address from Victor's letter and finds what looks like a school. Watching from a distance, he spots Alma. Their eyes meet for the first time. Moments later, Alma is driven away. Curious, Boyka follows and discovers she's working in an underground fight club, Zaurop's. Inside the club, Boyka witnesses a brutal match between Igor and another fighter. Igor wins with shocking ease. Boyka finds Alma and tries to talk, but they're interrupted by Slava, Zaurop's henchman. Slava tries to intimidate Boyka, warning him to stay away. When Boyka refuses, the bouncers attack, but he takes them down effortlessly. Even when Slava points a gun, Boyka disarms him with ease. Zaurop watches all this through security cameras and is intrigued. He confronts Boyka and tells him that no one speaks to Alma without his say-so. She belongs to him. He threatens Boyka's life, but the fighter isn't so easily rattled. The next morning, Boyka returns to see Alma. A guard tries to stop him, but Boyka knocks him out. Alma, reading to children, meets Boyka again. He tells her about Victor and confesses that he was the one who killed her husband, though it was an accident. He offers her the fight money as a way to help, but Alma rejects it, calling it blood money, and tells him to leave. Still determined to help, Boyka makes a deal with Zaurop. He'll fight 3 matches in 1 week, and if he wins them all, including against Zaurop's champion, Alma's debt will be erased. Zaurop agrees, but reminds him. In this arena, he makes the rules. Boyka starts training at a grimy gym full of thugs, and one of them picks a fight. One swift kick later, the thug is out cold. That night, Boyka enters the ring against Boris Tarsov. Boris is fast, but Boyka is a master. The crowd is awestruck. Even Zaurop is impressed. Boyka wins again. Alma brings him water afterward. When Boyka complains about the gym conditions, she offers him the community center instead, where Victor used to train. The next morning, Boyka trains there, drawing the attention of local kids who watch him in admiration. 2 nights later, it's time for Fight 2 against the Ozerov brothers, a 2-on-1 match. They swarm him like wolves, but Boyka takes them down, even after a brutal hit to his back. Seeing Alma in the crowd, he finds strength and defeats both. Back at the community center, Alma tends to his injuries. She tells him he doesn't need to fight for her, but Boyka insists. She explains that the center was her and Victor's dream, to keep kids away from gangs. She walks away, emotional, while Boyka retreats to rest. Fearing Boyka might win the 3rd fight, Zaurop bribes a corrupt cop to release Koshmar from prison, his secret weapon. The cop hesitates, but Zaurop sweetens the deal by offering him Boyka, one of Russia's most wanted. The morning before the final fight, Kirill calls Boyka. The Budapest tournament is ready, and the whole city is talking about him. Boyka promises he'll make it after this last match. That night, the arena buzzes with excitement. Igor, undefeated, enters the ring. Boyka, battered from previous fights, struggles at first. Igor lands heavy blows, targeting Boyka's injured back. But just as defeat looms, Boyka digs deep. He channels everything into a final flurry of strikes and knocks Igor out cold. The crowd erupts. Alma smiles. But Zaurop isn't done. He declares that Boyka must face his true champion, Koshmar. The massive fighter steps into the ring. He's a giant, and Boyka's attacks barely faze him. Koshmar lands devastating blows, knocking Boyka to the ground repeatedly. But Boyka, even with blood dripping and his body screaming in pain, keeps getting up. Finally, with a mix of agility, strength, and pure willpower, he takes Koshmar down using jujitsu and a brutal knockout kick. Boyka has won, but Zorop, ever the coward, sends his guards after him. He grabs Alma and drags her upstairs. The club descends into chaos. Boyka, injured but unstoppable, fights off the guards, gets shot in the arm and leg, but still presses on. Upstairs, Zorop holds Alma at gunpoint. When Boyka enters, he surrenders his gun, but Alma bites Zorop, distracting him. Boyka charges, gets shot in the abdomen, but still overpowers the gangster, choking him until he collapses. Alma rushes to Boyka, begging him to go to the hospital. But Boyka has one request. He asks if she can forgive him. That's why he came, to seek her forgiveness. Police arrive and arrest him. As he's taken away, he asks again. Alma, emotional and stunned, still can't find the words. 6 months later, in prison, Boyka receives a visitor, Alma. She brings drawings from the children at the center. She apologizes for not coming sooner and says that she was once blinded by hate. But now she sees the good in him. She came to tell him that she forgives him and to thank him for giving her back her freedom. With peace in his heart, Boyka returns to his cell. And even behind bars, he continues to fight, because that's who he is. So, what did you think of Boyka? Undisputed? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories. See you in the next one.